Hey, how's it going, everyone? ADPI Nation, Kevin Brenner, your host of the Active Duty Passive Income Podcast, and I'm coming to you live from Washington, D.C., where I'm talking to fellow action taker Amy Cook, who is in the same, well, okay, technically not in the same state as me, but really close because I'm right across the water, the Potomac from Virginia, and she is in a different part of Virginia. But Amy is one of our action takers in the Action Takers Only Mastermind, and she just closed on a VA triplex, and we're going to dig deep into this deal, into the numbers, talk about the numbers, talk about how she found the deal. This is going to be, you've heard these before. We call them these Adam member spotlights, where we bring out our students who are finding massive success by just doing everything that other people have done in the past, specifically other military real estate investors, and we bring them on to tell them, kind of give you the practical and tactical tips on how it actually gets done, not just like surface level, like, hey, I closed on this, great, but how did you do it? So we're going to break down how she found the deal. We're going to break down how she funded the deal. We're going to break down the deal itself and what her future plans are with this deal, because there might actually be, based on our coaching call last night, Amy, there might be an opportunity where you move and you don't end up actually moving into this because you got a new job. Fingers crossed. But
Hopefully that happens.
yeah, fingers crossed, but we're going to break that down too, and kind of the intricacies of how that could work, because it, kind of the same thing happened to me when I bought my first VA quadplex. So anyway, Amy, welcome to the show. And if you could, just a quick 30-second intro, who you are, where you're from, and what's your military affiliation.
Okay, yes. Hey, I'm Amy Cook. I spent 8 years in the Virginia Guard. I'm still in. I actually just came back from deployment in October. I was down on the border listening to the podcast for about 13 months, so I'm glad to be back.
I'm
Um,
sorry in advance for boring you for 13 months.
it passed time.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm a correction officer right now. I actually I'm going to be transitioning hopefully to full-time guard soon. So that's hopefully going to send me away from this triplex, but for good reason.
Yeah, that's exciting. We're going to dig into that later on. So, talk to me about this triplex, because you came into Operation Atom, our mastermind for people looking to do 1 to 4 units. You came in really not that long ago. I would say, what, 4 or 5 months? Did you come in when you came back from deployment? Was it October that you came
No,
in,
it
or?
was about half. I think it was last summer.
Yeah, okay. So it was like 6-ish months ago. And
Mhm.
I remember you, first coming in, you're telling us, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. And at the time you had, you weren't going to move. You were looking, hey, I want to VA a small multifamily. And we walked through those steps, and you're an action taker, so you did what you did. But let's dig into those actual action taking steps. And first off, where'd you find this deal? How'd you find this deal? And let's talk about that.
Okay, so yeah, I was down on deployment, and so I actually, to rewind, in 2016, I used the VA loan to house hack a duplex. It wasn't my VA loan; it was my ex-spouse's, but it's fine because it still worked. Um, and then when I was on deployment, I knew I wanted to come back and buy another one
Mhm.
because it'd been 5 years. I joined Adam. I spent my freedom down there. Made this cute little notebook, made it all clear. Had some study sessions with actually some of my soldiers that also wanted to do the same. But so I knew when I was down there that when I came back, I wanted to get another multifamily. So I was on the hunt. I actually got hooked up with you guys, and you sent me my awesome realtor. He's a major in the reserves, retired police officer, investor himself. He was amazing in helping me get this done.
That's fantastic.
So I actually it was on realtor.com. I had gone back and forth between two properties for a while, um, just waiting. I got my, certification or whatever from the VA,
Hmm.
and I just wasn't really jumping on these because I didn't know. I was waiting for something better, and then I was like, well, I'm going to be running out of time here soon. I need to get it done. So I had put an offer on one that was about 3 minutes from where I'm at now, and a cash investor came in and bought it. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy this triplex and check it out because I thought it was in like not a decent area. I went by, was completely blown away. It was in like pretty much a brand new neighborhood, a lot nicer area than I thought. I was like, this is the one I want. They dropped the price $10,000, and me and my realtor jumped on it. So
Wow.
he helped me put in the offer. We went back and forth a little, and then he got me hooked up with a lender. They're both part of the Homes for Heroes program, which they give back money. My lender paid $500 on my appraisal, and my realtor actually gave me $1,500 out of his commission check.
Wow.
So that was on top of when I went to close. The seller paid all of my fees and also cut me a check for 1609, so 1600.
That's incredible. And I think there's a little bit of mic reverberation there. I can hear it. Can you adjust your headphones or something like that, or is it your microphone perhaps that's picking up?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, struggles of live recording. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. Whatever you did worked because I don't
Okay.
hear it anymore. So yeah, just so a lot to break down there. But to be clear, you found this deal on the MLS, and you are in.
Yes,
This is Roanoke, right? Am I correct?
correct.
So Roanoke, Virginia, you found this deal on the MLS because I have so many students and other people just in the community saying, "Oh, you can't find deals on the MLS anymore." And you can. If you
Yeah,
have rock solid criteria like you did, I want, 2 to 4 units. I wanted to be in this area. You had everything listed out and you're working with with someone who is on the hunt for you full time, then heck yeah, something will pop up and you just got to take action like you did. So yeah, you ended up driving by this one and you're like, whoa, this is actually in a great neighborhood and the price came down. So the stars kind of aligned there and you jumped on it. So and not to mention the Homes for Heroes program. I've never heard of that, but that sounds incredible. So for those of you listening or watching this live, check that program out because it sounds like you can get a lot of money back. I wish I knew about it. When I was purchasing with my last purchase. So anyway, Amy, so let's talk numbers on this. So this deal, so you bought a triplex and you bought it with your VA. So obviously you had the intent to move into the units. Was it fully occupied when you purchased it?
so when we did our first walkthrough, there was a notice on the door of third apartment, and the owner, I guess, didn't even know that the guy had moved out because
Oh wow.
there was an older couple in the apartment upstairs, the other one, that told us that he hadn't been there for like a month. So there was one vacant. The owner just didn't know that there was one
And
vacant.
was the owner out of state?
I think he's local, but more hands off.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting because usually they're on top of that, but that's another kind of thing to look out for when you are looking for deals. Look for those either out of state or just hands off owners, because they're not gonna, you know, they don't know necessarily the gem that they have, and you were able to come in and make something happen. So what are the purchase price on what was the purchase price for this?
I got it for 217. Sorry.
217, and you used your VA, so zero down, and then
Correct.
the rent roll from two of the apartments because you're moving into this place, right? So
Yes.
yeah. So what was the rent roll on the other two apartments combined monthly?
1530, and my
1530.
mortgage is just under 1200.
Okay, so boom, there you go. Your mortgage is under 1200, and you have some meat on the bone there as far as rent is concerned. So you're probably coming in, um, honestly, on two of those units, you're probably, with maintenance and things like that, maybe breaking even. I presume the plan was to self-manage since you're living in the property yourself, so you
Correct.
can save some money there. I mean, sounds like a slam dunk deal. So now when we bring in this fact that hey, you might get a job somewhere else, like 4.5 hours away, fingers crossed, what is that going to do to this deal?
It's gonna really take it to a whole other level because then, I'll have that extra apartment. It needs a little bit of renovating, which I closed 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, and still haven't been able to go by the place again because of my busy schedule. But it'll definitely bring in a lot more cash flow and kind of cover the cost of if I have to move 4.5 hours away.
Sure, sure. And the you talked about some rehab and renovations. What do you have like an expected budget on that, or you're not quite sure yet?
I'm not really sure. So I was planning on using the check I got from my realtor to cover that, which the check is about $1,500. And really all I need is to fix a few holes from where they had mounted TVs and stuff and paint. That's all.
Oh, so it's super minor.
Oh yeah, it's nothing crazy.
Okay, no, that's great. So, and then the total rent roll. What would the total rent roll if you get this job, and you have to move out? What would the total rent roll be on that?
It'll be, let's see, right around 2130.
Okay, wow, there you go. That is a whole new level. That's insane because
Yeah,
you're looking at 2130 and your mortgage is $1,200. Okay, let's call it 1,600. Let's call it with all of your other expenses wrapped in there, your variable expenses. And for our listeners out there, remember we have our PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and then we have our variable expenses, which include things like property management, vacancy, maintenance, and capital expenses. So we wrap all of those together, and let's say you're in it for 1,600 monthly. If you have to move out of this place because you get orders somewhere else and you get a job somewhere else, then your cash flow goes up to, or excuse me, your total rent roll goes up to 2,100, and that means that you're cash flowing, math in public here, 2,100 minus 1,500, $600,
yeah.
five to $600 there. If we say 1,500, 1,600, so $500 to $600 in cash flow month after month. That is a slam dunk deal. Congratulations, Amy, man. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
This pumps me up because so many people are like so negative and they're saying like, I can't find any deals and it doesn't exist. And if you're in Washington D.C. like I am, or Los Angeles or New York City, yeah, you're probably right. Like you're right. They don't exist. They are unicorns. But for those folks that are just in other places, I mean, don't give up. Don't give up the fight because there's I always say this. You've heard, I think I said it last night. The deals are all around us. We just got to learn how to open our eyes. And no matter what market you're in, there's a strategy out there that you can leverage in real estate investing to find and be successful in with deals. So with that in mind, Amy, I'd like to ask you kind of about your experience with Operation Atom so far, and like I know we had talked about when you first joined in the summer, you were kind of like, okay, I want to get this triplex and all of this stuff. Was there a specific part of the program that helped you the most to, when you look back on going and closing on this?
Yeah, really breaking down the numbers. So never knew about the 1% rule, and that helped tremendously. I spent months searching through like realtor.com and other places, just looking at the local market and these deals. And I realized a lot of them are like bringing in $1,000 a month in rent, but they're asking 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely the filter that I had, I'd drawn out in my notebook with all the different ways to analyze it and different steps. That helped. That was probably the best thing because it makes it so much easier to dig through deals.
Oh yeah, and you're left looking at actual deals and not deals that people tell you are deals, and deals are in air quotes right now for people listening on the podcast. But it's like you can by combining the 1% rule with your specific criteria, you can literally filter out 99% of the noise, save yourself the time, energy, and effort of just the overwhelming amount of quote unquote deals that are out there, and you can find one and attack one specifically. And guess what? If it doesn't work out, you make an offer on it, doesn't work out. Okay, whatever. Move on to the next one. At least you tried. But I see so many new investors just get overwhelmed when they reach out to an agent and say, I want to invest in something. And then it's just like, a million questions that they don't have the answers to. With regards to your experience in Atom, so you're mentioning definitely the course in MRIA, and also we obviously have the weekly coaching, and you've been participating almost every week. I see you on there, so I'd imagine you find those helpful as well.
Oh yeah, definitely connecting. And now I work night shift, so every other week recently I haven't been able to for the most part, but when I'm able to, I get my notes out and just get connected with people, talk
Yeah.
about their deals, break them down. It helps breaking down other people's deals as well.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think, oh, there's that reverberation again.
It
Now
got
it's up.
moved.
It got moved. You gotta like, if you move the headphone jack like one little thing. No, but yeah, I think that connection is kind of really what we're going for with those weekly coaching calls where we bring people together, and it's all happens live in our Telegram group. And then of course, Amy, you know that if you need to access the old calls, we upload them all to the vault. So feel free to access that whenever you want, and if you have time to listen to it while you're on night shift, you can definitely do that. But you're probably not supposed to.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on and breaking down this deal. What's next for you, Amy, with your investing career?
So I actually just took the leap and I joined the multifamily academy, the first one
Ooh,
that
yeah.
starts today.
Ooh, what time is
So
that?
I believe the call is at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yes, let's
So
go.
I am looking forward to that. I have more goals on the single family side. I want to get a secondary lake house, like a secondary home.
Nice.
I have a lot of my soldiers that I'm actually pushing to take the single family class because they have shown interest through deployment of wanting to get
Hmm.
either a house for their family because their family is renting, so it makes sense for them to, rent to their family and while living there. So using VA because everyone has their VA benefits now that I deployed with, or just start their career house hacking like I did. So I'm really pushing them on that side. But as far as my personal goals, what I want to get into other than the single family side is RV parks. I lived in an RV on, I hope you've never been there, but Fort Pickett, Virginia.
I've heard things.
Yep, I lived in an RV there and actually another RV park close to there and just fell in love with it. So that is my goal. I talked to Chris Lockwood about my 10 to 15-year goal is to own an RV park, retire, live there on the lake. And he told me that after this 8 weeks, my goals are going to completely change. I'm going to want to own one by December. And in 10 to 15 years, I'm going to want to own 100. So I'm looking
Yep.
forward to what this multifamily academy can do for me as well.
Yeah, it's an incredible opportunity, and for those listening, this podcast is going to come out in a couple weeks from our recording. But if you're lucky enough to watch this live, that we're launching the cohort model of the multifamily academy, and it's literally a week by week um, journey where we're bringing a small class of 10 students, uh, you know, to along, and they're going to learn everything that the ADPI team knows about multifamily, and ranging from not just RV parks to large commercial multifamily apartment buildings, 100+ unit big complexes, to things like self-storage and things like mobile home parks, and how to underwrite these deals and how to find these deals and all of the stuff that you can turn, that we've seen it time and time again, members in our community who get out of the military because they're making way more money and they're having more fun doing real estate investing. And this is just one way to scale up. So it's not the only way, but it is one way. And Amy, I'm so stoked. I'm so happy for you that you're able to take action like this and really crush it and go after your goals. Because so as you stand right now, you have the duplex and now you have a triplex. So you have 5 units, right?
Correct.
How many units will you have by the end of 2022? Putting you on the spot.
Are we talking departments or
Don't care.
RV
Just
parks?
I don't doesn't matter. Just
Or
units in general.
we're going. I wanna hit the 100 mark by the end of the year.
100
It's
units.
a big goal,
That
but
is a big
I
goal. You can do it. And you
with this
can do it.
class we have, I think we can get it done.
100 units. That is awesome, Amy. Well, I'll be there following you uh, every step of the way. So I appreciate your time coming on, and I bet everyone watching and listening to this right now appreciates you. Congratulations on closing on that triplex. You found the deal, you took action, you closed on it, and I hope to see you next week in our coaching call.
Awesome.